Hello dear students. So today we have reached to the fourth and the last part of our chapter number 3, human reproduction. In this video we will talk about the fertilization during human reproduction and after fertilization how the zygote get developed into an embryo. So let's start this video. First of all, we have to discuss about fertilization. Here is the short summary what we are going to discuss in this chapter. We will talk about the fertilization, where is the fertilization event takes place in the ampulla region of oviduct or the fallopian tube. During this fertilization, the secondary oocyte, which was restricted in the metaphase stage of meiosis second, it get divided by meiosis second and it formed the egg cell or the ovum and the second polar body. The second polar body disintegrates and the ovum, it it is participating in the process of fertilization, and when it gets fertilized with sperm it will form the zygote. Now this zygote, which is the first cell of the life, will undergo the continuous mitotic division, and these mitotic division which develop the zygote into fetus, they are called the cleavage. Those mitotic division, they are called as cleavage. So there are many stages during this development of zygote into an embryo and then from embryo till fetus. We will talk about them. We will also talk about the layers of the developing embryo. We will talk about the role of placenta, which is actually the modification of uterine walls only, providing nourishment to the developing embryo. And we will talk about the stages of embryonic development in this video one by one. You can take the screenshot of this slide because it is covering the summarized form or the definitions of each region, which is also an important part of your board exam. Okay, so let's move on. First of all, the first thing that we have to discuss is fertilization. Now, after copulation, the semen is transferred into the vagina part of the female. Then the motile sperms, they move through the cervix and enter the uterus, and they reach, with the help of the movement with the tail, they reach to the ampullary isthmic junction. As I have told you earlier, that fertilization occurs in the ampullary isthmic junction of fallopian tube. Now, at this time when the sperm reach to this ampullary isthmic junction, the ovum is released from the ovary. It also reaches to that junction, in ampullary isthmic junction, and fertilization occur. Now, the sperm, it comes in contact with the zona pellucida layer of the ovum. You can see here in this picture, the sperm comes in contact with the zona pellucida layer of the ovum, and it induces changes in the membrane to block the entry of the other sperm. Once the first sperm it can come in contact with the zona pellucida layer, it makes the changes that other sperm will not come in, can come to fertilize this ovum again. Now, the enzyme from the acrosome of the sperm, they help in dissolving the zona pellucida and the plasma membrane of ovum, so that the entry of sperm can take place into the cytoplasm of ovum. That is actually the secondary oocyte till now, right? Secondary oocyte will only complete its meiosis second when it will come in contact with the spermatozoa. So till now the walls are only dissolving. The sperm has not entered inside. So when the sperm will dissolve these all layers and when it will come in contact with the cytoplasm, when the entry of sperm in cytoplasm occur, then it induces the completion of second meiotic division of secondary oocyte. That result into formation of haploid, ooted, or we call it ova, and the small second polar body. Even before the nucleus of ooted is organized, it fuses with the sperm nucleus to form the diploid zygote. Now finally, the nucleus of the ovum and the nucleus of the sperm will fertilize to form the zygote. So these are the changes taking place during fertilization, right? Now here you can see the picture how it is happening. The sperm is coming. Sperm comes in contact with the zona pellucida layer, which is dissolved by the acrosomal head, which contain the hydrolytic enzyme. Once the zona pellucida layer it is dissolved, the sperm head is coming in contact with the cytoplasm of the secondary oocyte. At that time, the secondary oocyte will develop or complete its meiosis second and will develop into oocyte. Okay, where the fusion of a sperm nucleus and the egg nucleus will occur to form the zygote. Now here this diagram is showing you the stages of development after fertilization. See, it is clearly shown here that the fertilization occur in the ampullary isthmic zone, where the uh, secondary oocyte will develop into egg cell first, then egg nucleus and sperm nucleus will fuse to form the zygote. Now this zygote will undergo many mitotic division. See, it is written here cleavage, that first the zygote will divide into 2 cell stage, then 4 cell stage, then 8 cell stage, then 16 cell stage, which is called morula. Then morula will enter into blastula stage, where the cavity starts forming, which is labeled as blastocyst, and finally this blastocyst it get implanted in the uterine wall. So we will discuss about that during implantation. Okay. Now, during fertilization, there is a specific role of both sets of chromosome in the sperm and the ovum. As we have studied earlier also, let's revise that sex determination is controlled by both male and female chromosomes present in the egg nucleus and the sperm nucleus. Now in sperm nucleus, there may be two chances that either the sperm will contain 22 plus X chromosome. 22 are the autosomes which are common in between the egg and the ovum, and the last 23rd pair is called the sex chromosome, which may be either X or Y in case of sperm, and X in case of ova. Now, there are 50% chances that either the X chromosomes of ova will fertilize with the X chromosome of sperm to form the female embryo, or the X chromosomes of ova will fuse with the Y chromosomes of sperm to form the male embryo. Okay. So here it is shown by the picture also that how the chromosomes of both male and female or sperm and ova are participating in developing the zygote. Males sperm, they may have the possibility that either it may contain 22 plus X chromosome or it may contain 22 plus Y chromosome, whereas ova will always contain 22 plus X chromosome only. There are two possibilities. If 22 plus X of sperm fuse with 22 plus X of ova, then the baby will be the girl, and if 22 plus Y of sperm fuse with 22 plus X of ova, then the baby boy will be produced. So this is how sex determination is controlled by the sex chromosomes of sperm and ova. Now, if we talk about the cleavage, the zygote it undergoes successive mitotic division which are called cleavage. Now, when this cleavage occurs, the zygote is moving through the isthmus region of fallopian tube towards the uterus. Now, the daughter cells of the zygote which are dividing, they are called blastomeres. When these blastomeres reaches to 16 celled stage, we called it morula. Morula is the solid spherical structure which is containing 16 celled stage of embryo. Now, after that morula stage, cell division continues and blastomeres become arranged along the periphery, leaving a central cavity in between, which is called blastocele. At this stage, embryo is called blastocyst. Right? Morula will develop into blastocyst, where a hollow cavity is developed. Now the cells, they now arrange themselves in outer layer which is called trophoblast, and inner group of cells which is called inner mass. Okay. Now this inner cell mass is attached to trophoblast and project into blastocyst. Right? Now this blastocyst will attach itself with the uterine wall, which will come under the process of implantation. Here again the picture is showing you the stages, that how the egg, it will develop into a zygote, then the 16 cell stage morula is formed, then morula start developing a cavity, blastocyst, and this blastocyst embed itself in the linings of uterus with the help of endometrium and the trophoblast. Trophoblast and endometrium, they both get embedded, forming the finger-like projection which are called chorionic villi, and then finally implantation occur. During implantation, the trophoblast layer, it get attached to the endometrium of uterus. The cells of endometrium, they divide rapidly and covers the blastocyst. So the blastocyst get embedded in the endometrium. This process is called implantation. At that time, the trophoblast of blastocyst form finger-like projections which are called chorionic villi. These chorionic villi embed themselves in the endometrium layer of uterus. Okay. Now, these chorionic villi and the uterine tissue, they become interdigited with one another. This complete structure is now called as placenta. Now there are many functions of placenta. Most important function of placenta is it provides nutrition to the developing embryo and help in transportation of gases and substances also. Even in removal of nitrogenous waste, this placenta is helping. In respiration gases exchange, placenta is helping. This placenta is also endocrine. It is releasing estrogen hormone, progesterone hormone, human placental lactogen hormone for milk production in female body, human gonadotropic hormone. It placenta also release some antibodies, immunoglobulin G, they are producing, which give immunity against some common diseases like diphtheria, smallpox and all. This placenta also store glycogen as the stored food. Okay. And it is acting definitely as the barrier from the germs. So this is the role of placenta, and this placenta is formed after the process of implantation, when the trophoblast form chorionic villi, finger-like projection, and get embedded itself in the endometrium layer of uterus. Okay. So this picture is showing you how placental villi or the chorionic villi and the endometrium wall of uterus, they get embedded, and finally they start acting like the placenta and providing nourishment to the developing embryo. Now, after that, the pregnancy will start. Implantation will lead into pregnancy, and during this pregnancy, the trophoblast, it will differentiate into two layers. The outer layer secrete the enzyme to dissolve the endometrium of uterus, and the inner layer, it form the chorionic villi, and the placenta will attach to the developing embryo, developing zygote with the umbilical cord. Okay. With this umbilical cord is providing nourishment. Now with this, at this time, the inner cell mass, it differentiated. The inner cell mass of the developing zygote get differentiated into ectoderm, endoderm and ectoderm and endoderm first, and later on a middle layer is also formed which is called mesoderm. The primary germ layers, these primary germ layers will give rise to all the tissues and the organs. Actually, inner cell mass, they contain the stem cells which have the potency to divide. That's why they are getting differentiated as ectoderm, endoderm and later on mesoderm also. So these three layers will develop into different organs and tissues. Now, after 1 month of pregnancy, the heart is formed. The first sign of growing symptom is the heartbeat. during pregnancy, in the first trimester, after 1 month, the doctor with the help of sonography checks the heartbeat and confirm the proper development of the embryo. So now we will talk about the different stages or different developmental stages of embryo. See, here it is mentioned. So first of all, in the first month, the embryo heart is formed. By the end of the second month, the fetus develop its limbs and digits. At the end of first trimester, means the third month, most of the organ systems they are developed. During the fifth month, eruption of hair or the head is observed and the fetus shows the movement. During the fifth month, the fetus starts showing the movement. By the end of 6 months, second trimester, the body is covered with the fine hairs and eyelids. They are separated. Eyelashes are formed. By the end of eighth month of pregnancy, the testes in case of female fetus descend into the scrotum. We have studied now at the eighth month the testes they descend into the scrotum so that the maturation of primary spermatocyte may start. And by the end of ninth month, at the end of pregnancy, the fetus is completely developed and it is ready for its delivery. So these are the changes which are taking place during embryo development. Now we will talk about parturition. See, parturition is the delivery of the fully developed fetus. Now the average duration of pregnancy gestation period in human body is about 9 to 9.5 months. Okay, means 80 to 82 weeks. A fully distended uterus with a completely developed fetus, it initiates the secretion of certain hormone. This parturition is completely under the control of hormones. The ovary at this period secrete a hormone called relaxin. This relaxin hormone facilitates the parturition by softening of the connective tissue in the pubic region. Okay. Now mild contraction are induced which are called fetal ejection reflexes because fetus want to come out. So that is called fetal ejection reflexes. Now these fetal ejection reflexes they trigger the release of oxytocin hormone from the posterior pituitary gland. Now, as the posterior pituitary gland release the oxytocin hormone, this oxytocin hormone induces stronger contractions of the uterine muscles, which ultimately leads to the expulsion of the baby from the uterus through the birth canal. Okay, so first of all, relaxin hormone is released. Relaxin hormone is stimulating the fetal ejection reflexes. Fetal ejection reflexes trigger the uh, trigger the posterior pituitary gland to release oxytocin, and oxytocin hormone makes the contraction more stronger and will result into expulsion of placenta and the remains of umbilical cord with the developed fetus through the birth canal, and this is how the baby is delivered. Okay, now once the baby is delivered, then the last process come, that is called lactation. So the mammary glands they also undergo certain development during pregnancy. Now this is under the influence of hormone called HPL, human prolactin hormone, or and progesterone also. They start producing milk towards the end of pregnancy, and this process is called lactation. The milk that comes out from the mammary glands after the childbirth is called colostrum, which is rich in nutrients and immunoglobulin A. That is the best feed for the developing for the newborn. Okay, so this is how the complete human reproduction takes place. So that's all in this video. We have completed the human sexual reproduction process. That's all. Thank you.